What's up? What's up? It's Thursday. It's your girl Lightning, and you are live with Lightning. And we know it normally goes down every Thursday night at 8 p.m. But tonight we're kicking it off at 9 p.m. But we will be back to our regularly scheduled program next week at 8 p.m. So I thank you so much for hanging around and staying with us and tuning in, because tonight we got a panel going on. I want to take a moment to introduce my panel. Y'all already know it's your girl Lightning. We got my girl Elise with a message.
Yeah.
You saw her a couple episodes ago, and she did live spiritual readings. Very, very dope. Very dope. Nothing satanic for all the folks out there. She just delivering a message of positivity. We got my boy King on the line. Give it up for King.
Hey.
And JB Rhythm. Give it up for JB Rhythm.
What's up, everybody? Salute.
Salute. So I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy and hectic schedules to join me tonight for Live with Lightning. And as you all know, you've seen the subject. We are talking about the first 48. You first meet somebody. You first meet somebody and y'all going on a date. When you go on that date, is it typical that you present your representative? Not if you a stone cold freak and you like this and that, do you disclose all that on the first date? Or do you keep that, you're too shy about it or afraid of what they're going to think or anything? And then as we talk about just presenting your representative or speaking on your real self, who you are on the date, then y'all vibing and then you get intimate. It's so much stigmatism around people who go on a date and end up being intimate that same night. It's such a negative connotation when women do it, but it's acceptable for men.
So you say.
I mean, I'm just,
Right.
So you say.
That's just atypical. If a woman, smash on the first, oh, she a hoe, she this, she this, she that, but it's never the negative connotation on the brother. Never.
I respectfully disagree, Miss Hostess Lady. As far as that being a generalized perception, you have various mentalities of men. We have a plethora of parameters that we set for ourselves, and maybe you have only talked to those men that consider women hoes that sleep on the first date but think it's okay for themselves. But some of us don't necessarily toe that line mentally.
Okay.
So let me ask you something real quick, because I know you're coming from a male perspective, but men love to chase, right? So
no, we don't. No, stop right there.
We don't.
Well,
we don't.
let me finish.
No, we don't.
Well, you already made an erroneous statement, though. Go ahead.
Typically, it's in a man's DNA to chase, right? So
No.
if we go ahead and sleep with y'all the first night, you're not trying to get to know us for real anymore, especially if the sex is good. If the sex is good, you just don't want to have sex. Where do we build that bond at? Where do we come together and get to really know each other?
May I?
Yeah.
Please, son, help him out. Help her out.
I definitely agree with JB. Sleeping with me on the first night does not constitute you being a hoe. And if the energy is great and the neurons are firing for a long time, then it doesn't have to be a one-night stand. We don't like to chase. That's what we don't like to do.
Absolutely
As men,
not.
I think we like it a lot easier than y'all make it.
So when I say chase, what do y'all think I mean when I say chase?
What do you mean when you say chase?
So what I mean when I say chase, there's got to be some kind of a little bit of a challenge.
Challenge. There you go.
Easy, right? If it's too easy, y'all really gonna. And I guess it depends on the perception y'all have of the woman as well. But say you on the fence about a woman, right? And y'all go on a date and y'all smash that first night, then how you gonna, you probably like, well, dang, she just gave it up. I'm good. Like me as a woman, like when I was younger, I done slept with somebody too soon and been disinterested. So I just think men have a funny way about that.
Yeah, but you sleeping with them too soon probably was not the problem. It was you not peeping their energy soon enough. Because if a woman sleeps with me I've had one night stands that lasted years into a relationship. Yeah. I know some one night stands that are marriages now.
Yeah,
so I
can definitely speak from that perspective.
Say that again, Lightning.
I can definitely speak from that perspective. My first husband, it was an odd meeting. So it was like when I first met him, it was during the era when Jason's Lyric had just come out, the movie Jason's Lyric. So when he stepped to me, I was hitting him with that, if I see you again, you can give my number. Like, can't have it right now, but if we just so happen to run into each other again, I'm gonna give you my number, hitting him with the Jason's Lyric vibe, right? 2 weeks later, all right, because I first met him on the East Side. I was at Club Broadway. 2 weeks later, I'm in St. Louis at St. Louis Nights when St. Louis Nights was on Olive. Who walks up to me? His ass. Hey, you said if I ever meet you again, you could give me your phone number. So I was like, damn. So I give him my phone number. From that moment, like we vibed. Everything was good. We went to breakfast, like did the after the club breakfast thing. And I'm telling you, the brother never left. We were married for 15 years. He was in a whole nother relationship, ended that relationship, and we have 2 beautiful children. You know what I'm saying?
I've been in
I understand that. That's because he wanted you. He wanted to pursue you. That's why he tried the second time.
Right.
Say the girl to go home with the man from the club immediately and just sleep with him. Do y'all still have that same respect?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Do you believe that you can't turn a hoe into a housewife?
No. Do I believe that?
Some hoes that make better housewives.
I didn't say that. I didn't say you can't turn a hoe into a housewife.
I will speak for the hoes of America.
So
we definitely make better housewives because we got that stone cold freak in them. We had a show about the side chick, so we got that side chick energy in a lockdown mode.
So there are women that have made me wait, and it turned into something. I don't think a person's value is determined by how soon they have sex. We all grown, and we do what we can responsibly handle.
Right.
If you sleep with me on the first night, I think it's immature on my behalf to view you as a hoe. Because you grown and you doing what you can handle.
Yeah.
So I'm not somebody that's gonna say the first night having sex excludes you. No, if you got the right character and we had sex on the first night, baby, this shit gonna last.
It's gonna last, right? Because you're looking at it from a good. But again, like you said, you grown.
That man is good too. Now if you snapper, the snapper is snappy.
But that's if y'all got chemistry. If y'all, got that vibe when y'all meet each other. If y'all got that, it'll last a long time then. But if you don't really know this person not open up, they introverted. I ain't saying you're gonna think they a freak or a hoe, but are you gonna really be interested in some men, not all men? Are they really gonna be interested in seeing where else it could go? That's what I'm saying.
And that's where I say that, I initially said, I said this one thing. I said, there are a plethora of men with various mentalities and how they deal with women and what those interactions look like are dictated by their personal morals, values, principles, character, and all that. But I will also say this, for the same man who's always going to have his same values, principles, characters, attributes, and whatnot, what was his intention when he went on that date? When he approached that woman the first time? What was his intention? And I have to totally disagree, Elise, with that all men want to chase, all men want to pursue, because like my son said, we really don't. We like you to be as honest as you possibly can,
Right.
and upfront and open as you possibly can, which is no different than what you ask of us. We want you to be that same thing, and together. And yeah, it can happen in a half a minute. Sometimes it takes an hour. Sometimes it takes 3 days. But what our intention is, and whether I went to that particular space, and I don't care whether it's the club, the library, or the grocery store. Did I go in that place looking for somebody I was going to smash that night or that weekend? Or was I just handling my business and suddenly was kind of allured by somebody that maybe they had that special perfume on? Or I just liked the fact that she was walking around the grocery store pushing a basket, and she was dressed like she just came out the office. It still had her heels on, the cows was popping, and I was intrigued by that particular thing. And it made me say, excuse me, miss.
Excuse me, miss.
Can I ask you,
What's your name?
what?
You are very
All that. So what was my intention? And I think I honestly think, and I can't speak 100% for women, but I would like to think, because we're all human beings, that you go into a certain atmosphere with a certain intention. You know what you're willing to do. You maybe even know what you expect to do, or you set those parameters for yourself. Depending on what your mood is that day. Sometimes you go to the club because you just want to get fucked up. Sometimes you go because you feel like dancing like a fool all night long and sweating it out, and you just want to lose some weight that night.
Right.
And sometimes you go because you want to have an interesting conversation with a guy, and you there to have somebody buy you some drinks because you want some internal validation. Your self-esteem needs to be boosted a little bit, but that's all that's going to be, just a little self-esteem boost. And sometimes it's been a minute and you just got that itch. You got that itch and you want that back, bro. So what was your intention? But and this is my throwback Thursday statement. I know it's probably only hear this from a man as mature as me. We do not like to chase. We do not like to pursue. But with respect to the mystery and intrigue of a woman, and there being some allure, yes, we will hunt you. We will hunt.
Okay.
But chase, absolutely not. That's a kid's game.
So
And
maybe
kings
that's not the right word, right?
Yeah,
So
unless you're looking.
Right word.
Yeah, now if you're looking for a little knight in shining armor, that all he gonna do is go from this conquest to that conquest to the next conquest. Yeah, you got little boys that'll chase you all day long. But if we're talking about men, we hunt.
Yeah. Okay.
We hunt with intention.
Okay.
So let me ask you this question: have either one of you ever slept with a woman soon and kind of got disinterested?
Yes, I have. But I want to start by saying, Elise, you are very attractive, by the way.
Thank you.
So I have, but it was the sex.
Okay.
And I was getting ready to say the same thing. It had nothing to do with the sex.
Yeah,
it was afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a hygiene or a personality thing or a major lifestyle difference.
Yeah,
it had nothing to do with the sex. The sex was not the determining factor. The same way you have a nice stand with somebody, and that's not. I read a book once that said women use sex to find love, and men use love to find sex. So take that with you.
Well, I mean, to each his own. To each his own. And I just want to take a second. But if you're just chiming in, thank you so much for chiming in. Welcome to Live with Lightning. It goes down every Thursday, normally at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So definitely lock that time in, 8 Central Standard Time. But tonight we coming on live at 9. And the topic of conversation that we're speaking of, if you saw the flyer, is First 48. So we're talking about when you go on that first date, within those first 2 days, initially going on the date, do you introduce your representative, or do you start to tell your truths about some of the things about you? Like if you're bisexual, or if you're a polyamorous, or if you have a different swing of life as it pertains to sex, or do you even talk about sex on the first date? You know, so we're talking about that tonight. And we're also talking about if you do vibe with that person, do you catch a body or not? You know what I'm saying? Do you go ahead and lead a club, end up, you know what I'm saying? And is it, you know, but just like as we started this conversation, I really love the perspective of the more mature adult, you know, that doesn't feel like just because a woman went home and slept with him is, you know, classifying her as a hoe. Because as stated, I'll speak for the hoes of America, you know, I went home, you know what I'm saying? I don't have my hot moments, you know, but I went home with my first husband and we was married for 15 years. Like the man never left. Like he totally got out of the relationship he was in. And we got together and had kids and was together for 15 years, like seriously. So one night stand ended up being 15 years of life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so I like the perspective of what you're saying of also the intent, you know. So I want to get into, as we continue the conversation, we do have a few comments that have chimed in. So I definitely want to show love there. And again, if you're tuning in and if you ever don't want to comment on the live, you want to join the conversation, but you want to comment, but you want to be anonymous, feel free to always email me at livewithlightning@gmail.com. I will get your comments while we're live. If you ever have a subject you want to talk about, you can email me there too. If you want to be a guest, you can email me there too. You want to advertise with me, you can email me there too. So like I said, okay, so Deb chimed in and said it's a thin line between love and sex.
May I interject?
Interject. Interject.
I want to answer the original question you asked.
Okay.
Which was about the representative.
Yeah, let's start there. Let's go back there. Yeah.
I like to consider myself using a representative when I meet people. I have to be pretty transparent. Kind of what you see is what you get. Will I be a dummy and tell them all my personal business right away? No. But I'm definitely not going to use some fake receptionist voice in person to try to get the image. Like, no, that's fraud. That would be called fraud. Okay.
Okay. So would you also agree that I guess it depends on where the conversation is going? Because if you are, if you are having a conversation and it does, you know, fade over to start to speak about sex and sexual experiences, I mean, you know, would you share and divulge that you like oral sex, or you prefer this, or you know, you're into that on the first 48 now? First 48.
I'm going to be sexually open and honest, but not telling you how many food stamp cards I got. I'm not telling you all of my personal business.
Okay. So, you know,
day one.
Yeah, I hear you, Christy. You're going into you more interested. I'll say this. I think everybody's puts their best foot forward initially. Now, how long that best foot forward, the very best of you, is going to be presented, is going to be dictated by the various circumstances and situations that you all are put in, and the energy and the conversation that you get from the other person. I never advocate dishonesty. I do, you know, like King says, I advocate for some level of privacy to some degree. Now, but that also, again, why am I out with this person? What was my intention with this person? And again, the vibe. I'm sure I've been on some dates that I blocked out an hour, and by the time the end of that hour came, I was glad it was there and ready to go.
Right.
And I've been on dates where I blocked out an hour, and 6 hours later, I was hesitant to break away from this person.
Yeah.
Now, with that in mind, as like a first date, and you know, you break away and then you call, hey, I'm home. Hey, I'm home too. Yeah, you really had a great time in that. Oh man, it just didn't seem like it. I didn't want it to end. You know, really, all right, I'm gonna let you go. Yeah, but one more thing. and then you got 4-5 more hours. So it depends on the energy of the person. It could get to a point where you've gone past so much of the initial surface, the epidermis of yourself. You've got to get down into the capillaries and the veins about what makes you you. And in that, if you are vibing with that person, dishonesty is not the way to go. Yes, there'll be some things there might be private. I'm not giving you, like King said, I'm not telling you how many food stamp accounts I have. I'm not telling you where my cigar boxes with the money is hid. But as a you know what I'm saying? But me, who I am at the core, there's not a question on a date. There is not a question you can't ask me that isn't really deeply personal that I don't feel I would not answer or anybody else should answer. And if the subject gets into sex and likes and dislikes and quirks and kinks, hey, again, we talking from a grown perspective, and here I'm Mr. Throwback Thursday tonight. I know I'm the senior here, so I'm not afraid to tell you all the things I like. I may, if you allow me, because women have the power, the threshold. They control the threshold to sex. Let's keep that real.
Yeah,
y'all are gonna decide whether we're gonna get there or not. Now, if you say, hey, if you don't approach something kinky other than missionary and say, hey, have you ever had a sloppy toppy? Well, damn, the door is wide open. I'm getting ready to tell you. You know what? I like that. I got my own handcuffs. I know Shibari. I got multiple colors of whips, chains, crops, and floggers. Look, I'm gonna divulge all that. But if we are having this Puritan type of conversation and it's barely scratching the surface, and you ain't even seeing if I'm ashy or not, and you're being so secretive that I don't feel like I'm getting the essence of you. And like King said, what's your vibe? What kind of energy am I getting back? And in that will dictate how much honesty and how much openness the conversation gonna have.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I had dates where I had conversations that went into a sexual way because it was comfortable, right? It's all about your energy and your chemistry with that person. So, but if I don't feel comfortable, I might like this person, but I might not feel comfortable them asking me about sex and, sexual position. So it's not a representative, but it's about my comfort level. When I get comfortable enough with you, then I'm gonna divulge more information, or I might talk about different things. But with some people, if I'm not comfortable, I'm not gonna do that.
And that's a very, very valid point, Elise. With being comfortable, I guess my biggest thing is you can, like you said, JB, you can ask just about anything, so just don't be dishonest about it. If the question comes up and you're not at that comfort level where you want to divulge, like if a brother just flat out, you're on the first date, Elise, and a brother just, and the conversation does turn sexual, and he just flat out like, yeah, I really like head, like I'm really into oral sex, and you don't feel comfortable on that first night, like, already talking about wanting your dick sucked, like, what, you know what I'm saying? But like, so you might really like sucking dick, but you ain't gonna tell him that, you know what I'm saying, right there at that moment. Versus being dishonest, just saying none of your business, like,
right.
whatever,
the subject, because I don't want to talk about that with you yet. Like, I might like you, I might feel you, and then it might be another man that I be around that I'm so comfortable with, and he say, oh, I like getting I like giving head or whatever, and I be like, oh, okay, for real, all right, me too.
Yeah.
It might go there, but it just depends on the person and how comfortable you are with it.
Right, and again, like they said, there's a way to put that off without killing the mood. Can you just? I mean, if you're kind of really feeling them, but you don't want to go there yet, what's wrong with saying, hey, you know what? Don't we have to save something for the second date?
JB Rip.
Yeah.
Well, me, first and foremost, I like giving head. Totally noted. But the thing for me is this. I'm gonna be as honest as I can because I don't like to waste time. I would like to know right away if I'm not your type of dude.
For real,
Back
for
to-
real.
About
Real
chase
talk. Because I
No,
don't
like, I
want to waste
wanna
your
know
time
right-
or my time. Right.
certain
Yeah.
things on the table. So I'm gonna be as honest as possible so that you and I both can know to let's tell him to bring the check over. Nobody's the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's
That
a
part right there, yes.
human being, and it's not happening. So
Okay.
I got an inbox. So they're live with us, but we got an inbox and it says, I know if I'm gonna give them some on the first date, sometimes even before we go on the date.
Look, and I tell you, women hold the
Like you said,
keys.
control the sex.
They hold the keys. They know. Look, if you could just get the honesty in this one question, after you get comfortable with the person and ask them, what kind of panties are you wearing? And based on the answer to that question, you will know whether or not they planned on sleeping with you or not. Did they wear nothing? Did they wear the thong? Or do they have the granny panties on? You will know whether or not they planned on sleeping with you.
Right.
So what type of panties a person's wear? So I don't wear panties. So that means I'm always ready.
Exactly. Like you already said, you represent all the hoes of them, all the hoes, right?
Wait, but wait. So it's a lot of women that don't wear panties. That don't mean like we just ready, you know? Like the rest of us just ready. I ain't gonna say that.
Uh-huh. Yes,
Okay.
I know there are various reasons you can offset yeast infections and such and such.
Right.
Okay. So what do y'all think about so the culture today, right? Because I'm single and I date and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of the times today people try to have house dates. Like y'all talk on the phone for a couple of days and a man will either be like, you know, you can come over here and I can cook and this and that. Is that a setup for sex? Do y'all believe so?
Not necessarily. Again, it's the character and intention of the man that you are dealing with, and how far you all have gone in the conversation. It's not necessarily a setup for sex. It's bringing it into a more comfortable, hopefully into a more comfortable setting than a restaurant, a club, or a bar may offer. Maybe you've done the movie thing. Maybe you've done the concert thing, and the home thing is more homely or is comfortable. I'm going to say for as many men as you can say that Netflix and chill is meant to turn into a sexual situation, there's probably 2 or 3 that very simply are of a caliber that they may just want to impress you with how they treat, how good a host they are, and how they can cater to a woman in their own home,
Okay.
to further impress you.
So in y'all mind, when y'all know that y'all got a woman coming over, y'all like this woman, y'all been talking for a week, and y'all gonna have a date at your house. In y'all mind, it's not like, oh, I know I'm gonna get some tonight.
No, not necessarily. And
Man,
no, not necessarily. It's not 100%. Not every time. Again, why am I with this? Why am I with this woman? Why am I entertained? For me, as a fairly mature man, why am I spending time with this woman? Am I doing it just to get to the point of having sex because I get a vibe that she's going to be a good sex partner, or am I really trying to cultivate a relationship with her and have fun? Is she stimulating my mind enough that I enjoy talking to her?
I got
And I just want that
stimulations. Yeah.
There is, because I am sapiosexual for real, but I can also leave a great conversation feeling satisfied and just wanting another conversation.
Yeah. Very
so
true.
I just don't think there's a hard and fast rule there.
Go ahead, King. You were trying to make a comment, then I'm gonna get into some of the other comments we got live. Go ahead, King.
Okay, well, we have all heard the saying of the old bull and the young bull. The young bull saying, let's run down and fuck one of those cows. And the old bull said, let's walk down and fuck them all, right? And as a straight OG, sometimes it's good enough for me just knowing that I could have fucked you. And I'll turn it down. So it ain't the woman in control. This my dick. And just like they said on Play Club, dick in this house, not pussy. I don't care if you think you better give me none or not. I don't care if in your mind first date that I'm give him some. I have to receive it in order for you to give it. And I'm a different brother. So think just because you think that, oh, I'm gonna fuck him. There have been many women that have been surprised at me that thought I was home and came to find out something different that I sent their ass home. Okay.
So you were in certain situations like that, were you as a man turned off if the woman was the one that was more forward?
I eat blueberries and watermelon. I was ready to go.
So what happened? Like you was ready to go. So what happened?
But that's just like we've been talking about. It's sometimes about setting a certain standard. Okay. Like if I know, like I'm gonna give you a prime example. Like this is something that happened to me in real life. This woman was drop dead gorgeous, small waist, met every standard of American beauty. And I could tell that she was used to getting her way. And every time she met a brother, if she wanted to go, then he would just be her sex slave. Guess what? Not me. Not me. Baby, I got some money to go get. When I'm going to see you again? And guess what her facial expression was?
Jaw to the ground.
Oh, you surprised I put this money before you? Oh, okay. Guess what she did? Played me for 2-3 weeks, didn't talk to me like I was
You know, it's funny you say that. Because honestly, I can admit my truth. I think I have been in some scenarios where I was the forward person. Like I was putting it out there that, yeah, I want that, you know, I want you or whatever. And I'll never forget this. I will never forget the situation where I was really like putting it out there, like trying to convince the brother to stay. He was like ready to go. And I was like, well, you know, it's cool. You should spend the night, like giving my hands, like Deb chimes in. We got a comment on here. She says, I'm like Little Caesars hot and ready this particular night. I was hot and ready. We all got, you know, the vibe and the energy was amazing. We were at my apartment, everything. And dude was like, I guess he must have felt like you since like, this boss chick thinks she finna just take me. No, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, well, I've been totally enjoying our evening and like, I'm gonna go home. And I was just like,
right.
So much so, real talk. Like, this is my truth, real talk. Like, he called me when he got home. And he was like, I made it home. And I was like, okay, I'm glad you made it home. And while we were talking, I flat out said, because I'm just like, you got the vibe. Like, you felt my energy, you felt my vibe, you knew I was ready, you know, but you chose to leave. So, like, are you gay? Like,
oh, that was
who wouldn't deny me? See what I'm saying? Who wouldn't deny me?
But most women think like that. Most women think like if I'm right here and I'm ready, hot and ready, like somebody said in the comments, like why this you ain't getting up on this, you don't want this. Like,
yeah. And I'm telling you, in that very moment, because he approached me with nothing but love, and we did end up in a relationship for a moment, you know. But he told me, he was like, yeah, I felt your energy. He said, I felt it. I wanted you too. He said, but I just didn't feel the time was right. You know what I'm saying? I really, and then he did give me the whole, I got so much respect for you. You know, you did the you know, and I was like, I feel you, you know, like I feel all that, but I was like, damn, I was like ready. You know?
That's not in a situation like that before, but now where I was like coming home.
You know,
right.
So
Yeah.
When he approached it though, he was like, I did. Like I totally felt her energy. I knew, you know what I'm saying? I felt it. I'm not gay, but I really see a future with us and I really want to get to know you better and this, that, and the third. And I was like, then I heard Helen Griswold, you know what I'm saying? Like, slow your ass down. So I appreciated that, you know. So I've been that person that felt like he gonna, you know, he lucky. I'm giving him some, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, you ain't getting this, not tonight.
Your dick deserves better. If any black men are listening, your dick deserves better.
Damn.
That situation has happened, but that's when the guy really got so much, like he kind of put you up on a pedestal to where he wants stuff to be right. Like I know some men do that too. They'll put you up on a pedestal and they'll be like, nah, I think we should wait. You know, I didn't have that situation happen before. I wasn't on him like that, but I expected it. I was ready, right?
Yeah.
So
That's
he
what
was
good
like,
dick
nah, I
do.
want to wait. What'd you say?
That's what good dick do. It make you good dick make you wait.
I was like, no, okay, well, that's fine. But we ended up being together for years. So I guess some men think of it differently. They don't want to rush into that for some reason, just like the same thing women don't want to rush into it sometimes, and it has a different outcome. So,
Yeah, you know the one. You know, I want to just qualify this and expand what I was talking about earlier today, Elise. When you were saying men love to chase. You know the thing that most men do enjoy chasing, or one thing that we do chase, and that's peace.
okay.
And every woman cannot bring peace into our world. Some of them create an element of chaos that we choose not to deal with. And so once you mature a bit more and you are chasing peace more than you're chasing pussy,
then preach.
Talk to him.
Then
See,
women
I'm the peace bringer. I bring the peace.
Not the piece of that piece, not the piece
Right.
between your legs. Peace.
Too, but I have peace. I have peace. I make your life peaceful. I don't bring drama.
Okay, so then you would be the type of woman that a majority of mature men who have gone beyond the chase and the conquesting type of mentality are seeking. And yeah, so I was just saying, you know, what we want more than anything as mature men is to have a woman that helps build peace within our household or peace within our lives, you know. And so just jumping up and down, that does not bring us peace. That make us real sleepy, but it don't bring us peace.
I get that. I've dated some mature men, and they don't like drama and all that foolishness, and I get that.
Yeah, very, very much so. Deb commented on the live to you, JB Rhythm, saying, JB, that's because you old school. You want more out of a person versus someone younger.
Yeah, but you know what? I like to think that, I mean, I agree. That mentality, yes, I am older. Yeah. So that mentality is certainly more popular. It's not 100% because there's some old hoes out here in the male frequency as well. Let's keep it real. But yeah, most of the time, more men are going to be thinking, you know, kind of in alignment with the commentary that I made. But one of the things that I find refreshing as I travel around, it's not popular to espouse it amongst younger men, but there are really some younger men that have a mature enough mindset, but they're not going to play a game with a high body count, with a woman with a high body count. They are already truly looking for a queen to accentuate their life and their lifestyle and help them build something. So
okay, now wait a minute, JB Rhythm. Wait a minute.
1 minute. Go ahead.
So, just because A woman has a high body count. That just off. She's off her queendom.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Your value, what product do you know that increases in value the more that you use it?
Nothing.
Hmm.
Nothing,
I'm waiting.
my brother.
I
Would
can't think right now, but
I'm willing to
understand the
I'm
point
willing
of
to
high
discuss
body.
it. Y'all
So
think about it.
a woman with a high body count. That, and for the people that are chimed in, you are live with Lightning. Goes down every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. But tonight we kicked it off at 9, and we have been talking about on the first date, whether you catch a body, that means you leave the club, go home, sleep with them, or in the beginning of the date, do you present your representative or do you present your real self? So now, as we've been having this conversation,
Mhm.
it has come up about
Uh-oh.
a woman's body count, and that all of a sudden, okay, I get where you're saying that her value diminishes. So the woman that is loose or has been loose, she automatically is off of her queendom.
Yes. Is a man off his kingdom dropping dick in community dick? Yes, any person is, man or woman. And I want to ask this: what are you looking for?
Well, why can't a woman be sexually
What if a
independent?
person just has a high sex drive? There are men that have
Right.
a very high sex drive, and that does not take away from them being the king
But
that they are.
women,
I hate, now see, that's the part that I don't like.
Okay,
I don't
so no.
like the double standard that is
Mm.
always presented when the woman has a higher sex drive, that, and then, quote unquote, we get categorized and put into that category of woman thou art loose, or she this or she's
high
that.
sex drive is not equal to performance.
So
There
I
are
will go if
there are women with high sex drives that are in relationships. I know because I'm single with a high sex drive. And because I'm single with a high sex drive does not mean that I go around fuck everybody. That means that I still want to have sex with one person on a consistent basis, whether it's my girlfriend or not. I still want to have sex with one person. High sex drive does not equate to having a lot of bodies. What a lot of bodies equate to you is that you're the type of person that has no consistency, and you're freaking outside the same way. It ain't no different from a man. You a dog with his dick out there, can't keep it in his pants.
so
You have
if Christy, you are, and I get it, you are probably first of all, I did not mean to offend you with that statement, but
It's not offended. It's not offended. It's the live visual of what I've been preaching, what we have talked about.
No, because
the double standards.
There is no double standard. No, let me tell you, let me correlate the same thing. Okay, let's take a 20-year-old woman. What would you say a reasonable amount of sexual experience would be for her?
According to the book of whatever, it shouldn't be nobody till she got married. But what I'm saying is,
okay, no, hold on.
That same 20-year-old has been intimate with 4 or 5 people, so her queendom ship over with.
Hold on.
So 5 folks enter.
I'm talking about. Let me say this. So let's take a man who at 20 has 4 or 5 kids. Is he as attractive as a long-term partner as a guy that only has 1 or 0 children?
That's different though. That's kids. That's
No. You talk about double standards. It's not
your
different.
example. This is how I compare. This just lightning opinion.
Okay.
I'm saying how I compare is if you got that many kids Can you take care of all them motherfucking kids? Period. Period. Point blank, big dot, period. So long as you can take care of your kids, I don't judge people. I don't put people in categories. I don't. You already know that about me. That's why I'm always the one defying the odds about how I dress. I have always been a sensuous being. So for the people that follow my life and been a part of my life, it's no surprise to nobody that I have an online toy store. Let's talk about that. Visit www.lightningstoybox.com. There was no eye raised like, what? Lightning's got an OnlyFans. Y'all been known I've been a motherfucker. So it is what it is. Now you're just seeing it before your life. I came to my event beautiful in a see-through fucking dress. But am I put in quote unquote as a whore because I had entirely all of my body exposed? No. Does my body count diminish me from being a queen? No.
I think you can be a very sexual woman.
I'm a very sexual woman.
You can be a very sexual woman. That don't mean you a hoe, right?
It don't make me a hoe. It means I like to fuck. I like to fuck.
Right. Now when we get off into what y'all call as a hoe, y'all mean a woman that sleeps with a lot of different men, right? But you can have I have a high sex drive when I'm in a relationship. But when I'm single, I'm not just out here like, oh, I'm just gonna go do this because I want to do this, you know. But a woman has a right to if she wants to, like just like y'all would. But it's looked down.
Okay. That's what you gotta say.
Right. If we're sexual, then it's looked down upon us like, oh, she shouldn't be like that, or she shouldn't be, or she shouldn't do that. But it is what it is. Right. Like every grown person, most grown people I know love sex, right? You don't have to put yourself all out in the streets with everybody, but just know that if you meet somebody at our age, they didn't have some bodies on. So what do you think about
so we got a comment, and I want you to answer this, King, before you even come with your comments. So keep your comment together. I know you got it. I got a comment on the live. Erica wants to know what is considered the high body count. What's the high body count?
Boom. I would like 20 seconds uninterrupted. I'm gonna take shades off.
Go.
If a man has been to jail 20 times, he's considered a repeat offender. Something is wrong with this man to have done the same thing 20 times. What y'all doing right now is defending being a hoe. Okay? That's what y'all doing.
We're justifying it. It's not a defense.
20 minutes, 20 I asked for 20 seconds.
You said 20 minutes uninterrupted.
20 seconds.
20 seconds.
What I'm doing is defending being a hoe. We all know that anything that's valuable is sacred. If they make 300 pair of Jordans, those Jordans are only going to be $100. If they 2 pair of Jordans, they're going to be $10,000 a piece. So if you got a high body count, he said if you 20 years old and you should have only had 4 to 5 acquaintances, according to life, and you slept with 100 men at 20, you are outside of your parameter. And yes, you are off your queendom. You are not rejected from your queen forever again, but you are off your throne. If a man is running around fucking hundreds of women and doesn't value his dick, he's off his kingdom. Is he excluded forever? No, he's off his game because that's not the plan. Jesus.
I get it. I get what you're saying. Well, I'm just saying, just because a woman is sexual, does not mean she's a hoe. Don't mean she out here getting
I'm telling you, I get so baffled. It is what it is. It's the reality. Erica said you did not answer her damn question. So Erica said you did not answer her damn question. So what is considered, if you have been intimate with more than how many people, what has established that your body count has exceeded your limitation?
Okay. I'm going to speak personally. For me, a high body count is anything according to your age that you should not be experiencing. If you're 20 and your body count is 30, then you've exceeded the limit. If you're 40 and your body count 30, that's a little bit more understandable because you have more time and experience in the field. You have women that have been married for 14 years and haven't outside, and their marriage ends, and then they fuck 4 or 5 niggas in they quest to find out who they really are. So age is
I'm 48. If my body count is more than 48, I ain't Queen Lightning no
How old
more.
are you?
I'm 48. I'm 48.
Your
So if
body
my
count
body
is
count
48.
is more than 40. I'm 48. I'm
Okay,
gonna be 49.
number-wise, that's what, 2-3 men a year?
If my body count, I just want confirmation. If my body count is more than 48, I am no longer Queen Lightning.
That's not true. You are definitely Queen Lightning.
So is that a question that y'all ask women when y'all meet them, when you dating people? Because I don't ask men that because I don't care and I don't want to know. But is that a question that men ask women?
You bring up a really, really valid point, Elise. I have never in all of my times, and I think it's really a really important question, but I don't really think you'll ever get the true, honest answer. Like nobody will honestly say, yeah, I've had sex with 200 people in my lifetime.
Yeah, Elise, I want to answer your question. It's not a question I ever ask. I think in the context of getting to know a person, you may get a sense or a feel for what kind of sexual experience that person may have had as far as promiscuity is concerned. But again, I only, what I have now is I've never cared about it. I really haven't. But I think as a mature man, I'm really more concerned with who are you right now? I don't really care. I mean, the high body count, again, when I was making that statement, I was making it, what I was saying was responding to Lightning's statement about, young men and what they do and don't want versus the mature man. And my point was there are mature young men, young men with a mature mindset that are more discriminating than people acknowledge. The ones that have the ones that have a whole bunch of kids and ain't doing nothing for themselves, ain't taking care of the kids, or just going out to the clubs so they can smash and dash every night. Those are the ones you hear about more often than not. You don't hear about the young men that have a plan and they want a woman by them side that, as King has said, is of a respectable enough character and still of a high enough value that it fits their vision and their life plan. And all those things are subjective. And I keep going back to what I've said. What are you dating for? What are your intentions for even going out?
And I think you definitely, I 100% agree with you there. And, setting your intentions and having an understanding of what you're getting involved with is very important. So that is very, very true. And that makes all the difference, but I think in today's era, people are not as transparent as they need to be. I have had these one-on-one conversations with my son, like he's happy in a relationship now, but before he had some issues, and he would not really want to be in the relationship, but would claim he would want to be in the relationship versus just being out open and upfront, like, I dig you, I feel like you dig me, so let's link up. You know what I'm saying? And then any extracurricular sexual activities, if you're open to having an open relationship or incorporating polyamory or anything, that's all got to be discussed and upfront and transparent, but I hate the double standards. Like Erica chimed in and said, so like what you mentioned about, the woman's boundaries, like, does the man lose value if he got a high body count? It's like you did. Mm-hmm. Now you're the first. On this live, you mentioned that, but society, the overall society, it's like you're an exception to the rule, is what I'm saying, King.
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's not.
Society looks
And then
down upon the woman for having a high sex drive and does not have the same look down upon of the man that has a high sex drive.
And I don't think that that's 100% true, Lightning. I think for every one group of people,
it was true. You just proved it was true by saying that a woman that has a higher body count has all of a sudden lost her value. Because a woman just likes to fuck just as much as a man likes to fuck, then she's lost her value, but he hasn't. But
no. I was talking about two different.
And you two. No. That's why you're on the panel. But you two are the only man that I've ever heard say that. Every other man that I've had a conversation with has had the second part of that she's damaged goods or she's this or she's that.
What I said is this, and I want you to hear it this time. I said that there are young men out there that have a mature mindset that are planning their lives as kings. And to those men, they are less likely to seek a woman with a high body count.
What if they don't know?
I'm not talking.
That's what I'm saying. So it goes back to the beginning of do you introduce your representative or do you present your real self? So if you never tell a person, if you never have the discussion that my body count is this, that, and the third, and they don't know your value is lost, they know you might not be the first person they had sex with, but they don't really keep it 100 with you and tell you about their promiscuous ways or anything like that. And then you fall in love with who they are. You see they're genuine. You've had conversation. Everything seems to be too legit to quit. But that body count, you don't know nothing about.
Can I say something, please?
Yes, sir.
I'll say two things very quickly. The first thing I want to say is there's a difference between sleeping with 100 men one time and sleeping with one man 100 times. So don't confuse having a high sex drive with being a hoe. The second thing I want to say is that's what's wrong with most women. Y'all got this little interpreter in y'all head that when somebody say something, to y'all, it means something else. A man could say, I don't want to go, and y'all will say, what you mean? Well, what does I want to mean? What's wrong with you? Hold on. I just sat up here and described very thoroughly that it was no different for a man that was going out fucking multiple women.
Right, okay, I know you did, King, but we're speaking on a broad perspective. Some of my listeners, you helping brothers tonight.
So look, wait a minute, hold on. Let me ask this question, Elise and Lightning. Think about y'all lives. Y'all around the same age. Y'all not the youngest of women, but the most beautiful women for sure.
Indeed.
Have you ever been in a group of women that had the knowledge that there was this one guy that had slept with multiple people? Maybe it was in high school and this guy had slept with 15, 20 women. Maybe it was at the job and this guy had slept around with 15, 20, 5 or 10 women. Have y'all ever been in a group of women that had that knowledge about a guy that was sleeping around like that and said, I ain't gonna have nothing to do with that dude. He is not discriminating with his dick at all. Have y'all ever said that?
Of course, because I don't like and I mean, I'm just saying, I ain't saying nothing was wrong with what y'all said, but I don't like a friendly man either. That's my preference. I don't like a man that got different situations going on with a whole bunch of different women. That's drama. That's a whole bunch of mess. I don't want to deal with that. It's really not about the sex per se, but it's about the drama that all that bring that you out here with all these different women. I don't want to deal with it. So personally, no, I wouldn't mess with him. I wouldn't talk to him. That'd just be me, you know. So let me ask you.
Oh my God, that's a double standard.
But
I want to
ask but me on the flip side, I may or may not go and say, no, I don't want that. I may be like, well, was it like that? Let me get it. So
Okay, respect. Like, yeah, okay. So again, we have a plethora of potential mindsets when it comes to these things. There is no hard and fast rule per se. What there's different strokes for different strokers is the old statement.
Yeah.
And what works for one won't work for another. It all depends on where you are in that stage in your life and what your intention is when you went on that date. Do you care if she's the Belleville hoe because you just in the mood to sow your wild oats too? And likewise, do you care if he is Big Dick Willie from down at Emerson that you already know? Pictures floating around about him and stories about how well he used it. That may be the reason you went out with him. But if you are wanting something more out of that date and out of that interaction, then you are not going to just send your sex representative.
Yeah.
You are going to send your Sherlock Holmes.
You really hit it on the nose, because just stating JB Rhythm is the whole is the whole, like you said, it starts with the intent. If your intent is not to develop anything and your intent is strictly to smash, then that does definitely make all the difference in the world. You know what I'm saying? It definitely does. I 100% agree with you. And this has been an awesome conversation. I know King dropped off. I don't know if because he wasn't actually, I didn't expect him to be, because he had to leave early. So I appreciate.
He was grabbing his charger.
His phone died out. He had to go grab the charger.
Okay. So this has been an amazing conversation. So
1 hour ain't enough.
That are still chimed in. Again, it goes down every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you will hear the panel, which makes up Elise with the Message, JB Rhythm, and King on the third Thursday of every month. So we will have some really hot topics, hot conversation for you. And we will end the night with the final comment. And I know you're going to want to come back and say something. JB Rhythm. Show tonight before I do that, I'm going to end the show with Erica's comment. But before I do that, why don't you tell us where we can find you, Elise, and if you have anything going on that you want the people to know, and likewise, you follow right behind her, JB Rhythm, if you like anything for anybody to follow you or tell us anything you have going on, or just let the people know what's up.
Okay, my Facebook is Elise, ALISE. I do affirmations 2 or 3 times a week, just try to give out some positive messages. I do YouTube readings, I do some tarot readings or whatever. I have a business like that. Yeah, I can hit up my Facebook page for that. I'm also going to do a matchmaker show. So if you're single, hit me up, hit my inbox up. I'm putting it together now, so I want to do it on Facebook Live where everybody's cool and we good. All right.
That's what's up.
All right. Yeah. Government is Jamal M. Bryce, but I'm just JB Rhythm here. I appreciate the opportunity to share the male perspective with you all this evening. And I will continue to provide as much objectivity and insight as lightning allows.
No, I want you to continue to be nothing but you. That's why I love you so dearly. We have a wonderful friendship. But we have these type of debates and conversations all the time. And he was actually the one who gave me the idea to put us together to have a panel discussion. So you will definitely look forward to more from us, but it will go down on the third Thursday. But you can tune in with me every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And the final comment of the night. And I know JB gonna want to say something after this. At the end of the night, first date, smashing first date, disclosing any information on the first date, women get scrutinized more than men, period. Thank you all so much for tuning in for Live with Lightning. We will see you next Thursday. Peace and love.
Bye.
Yeah.